The sixth lesson. Be at peace with yourself. Learn to respect yourself. Trust yourself. Like yourself. Ralph Waldo Emerson said that we should learn to detect that gleam of light which flashes across the mind from within. Do not dismiss your own ideas simply because they're your own. Trust yourself. Great minds always have done so. I adopted the attitude of the Kentucky pioneers who said, "Here I am. If you don't like me, the worse for you." I was an avid reader of Shakespeare who said this above all, "To thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man." Toward the end of my term of office, I spoke these words: "If at last, when I come to lay down the reins of power, I've lost every other friend on earth, I shall at least have one friend left, and that friend shall be deep inside of me." I'm not bound to win, but I'm bound to be true. I'm not bound to succeed, but I'm bound to do the best I know how. When I was a young man, I came upon a profound idea tucked away in the Declaration of Independence. It was one sentence written by Thomas Jefferson. Ladies and gentlemen, that sentence is at the very core of the American way. That sentence: all men are created equal. That's a radical idea then. Did you know that President Abraham Lincoln is one of the most popular motivational speakers in the world? I'm Gene Griessman, professional speaker and author who portrays President Lincoln, and if you'll grant me just 90 seconds, you'll learn what Abraham Lincoln can do for your organization and the attendees at your next meeting, conference, or convention. First of all, Lincoln Live is loved by everybody, by Democrats and Republicans and independents, by conservatives and liberals. Lincoln returns from the grave to tell what he's learned about success. People come away inspired. They have new thoughts about themselves, about their work. Just think how wonderful it would be if Abraham Lincoln could actually speak to your organization and tell your people what he's learned about leadership, about achieving high goals, about persisting in spite of setbacks, about how to communicate effectively. People tell me again and again, I felt President Lincoln was there. A woman came up to me and she said, "Lincoln, you're the ugliest man I ever saw in my life." I said, "I can't help it." She said, "You could stay home." People said I was a two-faced politician. Now I put it to you, if I had another face, do you think I'd wear this one? Reminds me of a story. This happened back in New Salem, Illinois. I was shaving one morning. This is before I grew my beard. I began to study myself in the mirror, and I thought, my Lord, Lincoln, you're an ugly man. Made me so unhappy, I made a vow that morning. If I ever met a man uglier than myself, I'd shoot him on sight. Put him out of his misery. Not long afterwards, I saw this ugly-looking politician. I thought, Lincoln, this is your lucky day. Went up to him and told him to say his prayers, pulled my pistol. He said, "Why? What have I done, Lincoln?" Told him about my vow. He said, "You honestly think I'm an ugly-looking man than you are?" I said, "I think you are." He said, "For God's sake, shoot me. If I'm uglier than you are, I don't want to live." Lincoln tells hilarious jokes and one-liners. You laugh while you learn. Another benefit to engaging President Lincoln is you can have me, Gene Griessman, as a package of sorts. My specialty is high achievement. What are the common denominators of successful careers? I've interviewed some of the most famous people in the world for TV and great newspapers like USA Today and the New York Times. I wrote a book based on those interviews called the achievement factors that attracted worldwide attention. Many clients ask me to do a follow-up session after the Lincoln performance. I show how to use Lincoln's secrets of effective communication. Plus, I share insider tips that actors and professional speakers use. So let me ask you, if you could actually get Abraham Lincoln to speak to your organization, would you do it? Of course you would. Now you actually can.